Greetings, viewers and voyeurs with Got That Funk. I hope you're doing well. I'm back. I have decided to make a conscientious effort to get back to making videos on a regular basis, and by regular basis, I mean at least one a week. I'm hopeful to get back into the swing of doing videos even more frequently than once a week. Because there's so much going on in the world right now, and I feel that not adding my voice to the conversations that go on is effectively complicity, and I don't really want to be complicit with all the evil in the world right now. I certainly don't want to feel complacent, feel like everybody else should be speaking up and doing something. I feel like I'm not really in a position to tangibly do very much other than add my voice and let people know that it's safe to object to what's going on both in the UK and in the United States right now. So before I get into doing social commentary and stuff like that, I thought it'd be a good idea for this video if I just get you all caught up with me and my life, what I've been up to. I'll try to keep it brief. So at the beginning of the pandemic, I was sort of seeing someone, and we decided to take a chance on a relationship. The end result of that was I moved back to America in the summer of 2020 at the height of the pandemic. And I was there with my girlfriend. We had a pretty cozy lifestyle. I was for those couple of years that we were in that relationship. I was retired. I didn't have to work, and we did a lot of traveling. And we had some good times. But ultimately, for various reasons, which are too personal to go into in a public forum, the relationship didn't work out. And so I decided to end the relationship. Concurrent to the ending of that relationship, my mom, who was in very poor health toward the end of her life, needed some kind of 24-hour care that she wasn't getting in the situation that she was in. So I moved back to California, and I looked after my mother for the final year of her life. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, not just because I watched my mother progressively diminish as a human being and because of dementia, but it was also incredibly taxing to my mental health. My mental health was already in a precarious state after the failure of the relationship, and then going into looking after my mom for a whole year, whose dementia was advancing by the day. It takes a toll. Anybody who's looked after an elder with dementia or Alzheimer's can attest to the fact that it's emotionally and mentally draining, and that's the most kind way that I can put it. By the time my mom died, which was April of 2023, my noodle had popped, friends. I was not in a good place, but I moved back to the UK because my kids both still live here in the UK, and I wanted to be closer to my kids. I didn't really want to live in America unless I was going to be in the relationship I was in. I never really would have moved there if it wasn't for that relationship. So I decided to move back, which has the added bonus. I mean, while I was away, my daughter got pregnant. She had her first child in the summer of 2023, and she had her second child February of this year. So now I'm a grandparent to a little boy and a little girl. And they give my life purpose, they give my life meaning, they give me something to look forward to, and I am absolutely elated to see my daughter blossom as a mother. It's more rewarding than words can possibly describe. Anyway, as for me, what I'm doing with my life, I live in a shared house with 5 other men. I lived in shared houses for most of my adult life, and I went to a review. It's like, how many roommates have I had in my life? Do you know I've had more than 60 roommates over the past 45 years? It's kind of shocking. Anyway, so my living situation is good for me because this accommodation is relatively cheap. I don't make great money at my job. I'm not going to tell you what I do or what company I work for, but suffice to say, after everything I went through with the failure of my relationship and in looking after my mom for the final year of her life, by the time I got back to the UK, my mental health was in a precarious state. And so I wanted a job that had decent pay with not too much responsibility. And that's not the easy job to find, but I managed to find one actually. I am in a lucky position where I'm not anybody's boss. I don't have to manage anybody or deal with like invoices or the government or anything like that. And I don't have to deal with customers. So I'm in a very fortunate position for someone in my phase of life, because right now I didn't want those responsibilities. After everything I went through, I was just like, you know what? I just want to show up, work hard, get paid, go home. And that's the kind of job I've got. I'm not going to say what I do, but suffice to say that when the pandemic was going, the job I'm doing now was called an essential worker's job. So that's what I do. Like I say, I don't make great money, but I'm not really worried about money. I'm in a very privileged position to be able to say that. Having said that, though, you know, my official retirement is like less than 5 years away. I don't intend to retire on time because, quite frankly, I can't. Like a lot of people in my generation, I have put away for my retirement, but insufficient to last me for any significant amount of time. So I'm going to have to work a little bit into my retirement years, which is unfortunate, but I'm in the same boat as a lot of people. Anyway, so I'm back here on YouTube. I intend to make content that is both socio-political in terms of commentary. I also hope to get back to every once in a while making a skit for my audience to enjoy, or doing other sort of comedy videos. I might even start doing some reaction videos to like music or movies or whatever. I've come across, I know that YouTube is oversaturated with reaction channels. This channel is not going to become a reaction channel, but don't be surprised if the occasional music reaction video from me wafts across your subscription page. Anyway, if you saw my face and clicked on it, I want to thank you so much for being out there in the audience still. In fact, this channel is so old that I'm sure a lot of the 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers I have probably don't even use YouTube anymore, because I had most of those subscribers for 15 years. And an awful lot of people have fallen away from YouTube. So I don't know what kind of reach out there into the YouTube stratosphere this video is going to have, or any videos that I make will have. So if you're out there in my audience, please let me know that you saw this video by leaving a comment down below. And please either like or dislike this video. The algorithm doesn't really care, and I don't really care either. And if you feel so inclined and you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing. Who knows? This might be an interesting journey. I'm glad you're here with me to take it. I want to thank you all for watching this video. May all your ups and downs be ups. Power to the peaceful.